Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we take fascinating texts, pull them apart, and give you the insights you really need to get it and get it fast.
Yeah.
Today we're tackling a source that is, well, it's a little unusual for us, but it's just so rewarding. It's the transcribed lyrics from Matt Crocker's song, Unmistakable.
It's a great challenge because these aren't just, lyrics on a page. They really function as this highly concentrated emotional and spiritual document.
Right.
They capture a journey of profound realization. So our mission here is really to analyze how this text uses these sharp, almost visceral images to get across a total spiritual experience.
And when you do that, when you treat these lines like a piece of literature detailing an inner transformation, the speed is just, it's astonishing.
It moves so fast.
We jump right in defining the divine with physical sensations, then pivot immediately into these deep theological claims. It's almost a manifesto, but stripped down to its core.
Precisely. We really need to look at how the language itself dictates the experience. It starts with a definition, moves through recognition and failure, and then it concludes with this compulsory praise. It's a structured narrative of surrender.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start at the absolute foundation, that initial declaration about the divine. The opening is so immediate, almost startling. Heat, I'm created, never changing, no mistaking that you are God.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating there is the mechanism of that opening statement. I mean, why the repetition? Heat.
It's a feeling, right? Not an idea.
It's an immediate, intense physical sensation. It could be passion, danger, presence, energy. It just grabs you. And then, with no pause, it defines two key relationships. The divine is the one who created the speaker, but the divine itself is never changing.
So the foundation is set by contrasting this dynamic, constantly creating nature of the divine with its static, never-changing character. It's like an entity that exists outside the rules of its own creation.
That establishes the ultimate non-negotiable stability. If the divine is immutable, it's an anchor point. It's ultimate reliability. And that sets up the problem for the speaker, right? If the foundation is steady, any instability, well, it has to be coming from the human side.
And that instability is immediately framed with geography, with elevation. The text shifts to this visual. On the summit in Admire, I look up, and there you are.
Yeah.
It puts the divine on a pedestal. It's remote, admired, and it suggests this difficult climb just to even see it.
And this introduces a classic theological tension. By placing the divine on the summit, the text is talking about divine transcendence. The idea that this entity is high above, sort of beyond our comprehension, on a plane that's hard to reach.
But wait, if the divine is on this remote summit, why does the text immediately just contradict that distance?
Right.
The speaker follows right up with this confessional line. How could I be so blind to deny you're always right in front of me?
That is the conceptual power punch of the opening. We go instantly from transcendence to immanence, the idea that the divine is at the same time present, near, accessible. So the problem isn't the divine's location, it's the speaker's state of blindness. The speaker was looking for God way out on the horizon, but was missing the presence that was right in front of me the whole time.
So the recognition of this permanent, constant nature, both remote and near, that's what compels the speaker to realize their own failure. It's a very fast, very hard realization.
It creates a narrative framework where the speaker is the variable and the divine is the constant. The journey isn't about the divine moving closer, it's about the speaker removing their own self-imposed blindness.
That sets up a pretty high-stakes scenario. If the foundation is this unchanging, powerful entity, how does the speaker respond? I mean, usually that leads to fear, but here it's surrender and security.
That's a crucial pivot. Once the identity of the divine is established, the focus shifts entirely inward, to the speaker's internal yielding state.
Okay, so this is where I think it gets really interesting. The speaker immediately confesses the state of just, absolute depletion, surrender. I'm relenting, failing. There's no attempt at self-justification, no strength left.
The vulnerability is total. But then the text performs this miraculous conceptual jump. Immediately after confessing failure, when you'd expect judgment or fear, the speaker finds security instead.
There's no fear in your perfect love.
Exactly.
Okay, I have to stop you there. If the speaker is confessing such deep personal failure, I'm relenting, failing, how does the text make that immediate counterintuitive jump to no fear? Where does that security actually come from?
It comes entirely from that one adjective, perfect love. The lyrics define this love not just as strong or kind, but perfect. Oh. And in a theological context, perfection implies completeness, totality, no conditions.
Oh.
Therefore, if the love is perfect, it has to, by definition, exclude fear. The safety isn't derived from the speaker's effort, which has already failed, but from the unchanging nature of the entity's affection we just established.
So the failing believer is held up by the flawless, perfect lover.
Precisely. And that realization of unconditional security right in the middle of failure leads to a very specific, almost tentative request for connection. The speaker asks for just a glimpse, just one glimpse of your heart, and then repeats it with a different sense, just just one taste of your heart.
That's critical. They're not asking for, the full scope of heaven or some deep philosophical insight. They're asking for the minimal effective dose, a glimpse, a taste. It grounds this massive, intangible spiritual reality in the smallest, most human sensory experiences.
And that shifts the entire dynamic from intellectual understanding to the visceral experience. An intellectual concept, you can deny it, you can argue against it. A taste or a glimpse is immediate, undeniable. It suggests that even the smallest, most